I haven't made one of these live videos for a while. I've been outside or been in the truck or been down at the creek or something like that, or just not having time to do it. And I'm here at the chapel making copies and getting ready to be part of the food distribution and all that. And I've got a moment before we transition from the office down to the picnic shelter with the food. And I wanted to share with you about opportunities this weekend. Something that's exciting to me, and it might put you to sleep right now in this really cozy little video, is that I just had to make two separate bulletins for this Sunday because we have a morning service and an evening service. And I know a lot of churches out there, they've been doing that a long time, and we're not going to start doing that every week yet. But we think it's coming because we've had enough growth, we've had enough movement, enough power shown by the Spirit that we think it's coming because we're starting to get crowded. And this weekend, we've got an opportunity for you to be here for a regular worship time in the morning, like we always do, at 11 o'clock after our Sunday school classes. And then there's a band going to come at 7 o'clock that night out of Frankfurt. They're called Seed Sowers. And instead of just having one service at 7 and not having the 11, we're thinking this is going to be a trial run to see what we think of having two worship services somewhere down the road. And if you're watching this and you're part of our normal flock, you've got choices. You could come to the morning service like normal, or you could come at 7 o'clock. You have that built-in excuse this week to sleep in and have your coffee and your newspaper and watch online and then join us at 7 o'clock. Or you could just stay and come at the 11 o'clock service and not worry about this 7 o'clock later on. Watch that online. Or here's the bonus pack. You could come to both. In the chapel twice in one day. It's crazy. We're going to count just the total number of people that come overall, not double dipping. Like I'm sure my wife and I will be at both services, so we're not going to count ourselves twice. We'll count how many people walk in the chapel this coming Sunday combined once a piece. So, like if we had 60 people on Sunday morning and 60 people at Sunday night, we're not going to say 120 unless it's a totally different 60 people on Sunday night, which it won't be. So we would subtract the number of double dippers, not because they're double dipping, it's wonderful, but because we want to see how many people total individuals are in this chapel in one day. Now I want to put a scripture with this. It's not a scripture about the Seed Sowers band or about having two worship services or being excited or being a geeky minister. What it's about is what we've been studying lately, and it's through the first and second letters to Thessalonica that Paul wrote in the New Testament. And there's been so much about the Lord coming back and what that means and when that'll be and what that'll look like and the order of everything and how many events it'll encompass and so on and so on. But there's a scripture at the beginning of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 that really sums it up. And I want to read that to you, just a few verses, 3 verses in fact. It says, "Now, brothers and sisters, about the times and dates we do not need to write to you, for you know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. While people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape." Now, part of that sounds dire, and it is, because we've been talking about this coming of the Lord, the rapture, the second coming, the judgment, all these different things for the last several months through the prophetic word of Joel back before Christmas, and even with earlier than that, we had 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, the letters of John, on into Malachi this year, and now 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, and they're all talking about the Lord coming back. And the phrase Paul uses here, which is divinely inspired, says, "He'll come like a thief in the night." So regardless of whether this is talking about the very, very end of times, Jesus coming back to judge, or talking about the rapture that will bring it all in, we're talking about the fact that when things unfold, end times events, it'll be like a thief in the night. Be ready. And for us, what is exciting this weekend is that we have 2 chances to be in the chapel. Now, that is not your get out of hell free card coming to the chapel. We know that. Everybody can talk about how many folks have been in a church, members, teachers, pastors, whatever, that didn't look, act, or smell a thing like Jesus. No, of course. But I'd be hard pressed to try to please the Lord, become more like Him, learn more of His ways without being part of a church family. Our church family is growing to the point where sometimes it's insane to see, and it's wonderful to see. This week you've got 2 chances to come and see at our chapel. Come do it.